Hey, what's up, YouTube? BigH Trucking coming to you. Where am I coming to you from? The 01 in, I'm not going to mention the customer's name because I don't like doing that, but it's the place in Northeast Maryland. Now, for your prime drivers, you'll know exactly where I'm at. It's been a minute since I made a video, and I figured this would be a good opportunity to make a video. This is the third trailer that I've picked up that's got something wrong with it. The first one was, oh man, I can't remember. Oh, it was a bad starter, but luckily the load I was on was a continuous, so I didn't have to shut off. So I was up in Maine, and from Maine took it all the way to Pittston. Yes, I got miles for it. Second one I picked up last night was no license plate, and the whole left side of the trailer was absolutely crushed. Someone did a hell of a job, ripped off the weight gauge. It was manageable. Okay, fine. Told them about it. They're like, carry on, road assist. So I dropped this trailer where I'm at now. God bless the next person that's got to take it. That's all I've got to say. This one I pick up, or go to pick up, and I see an orange light, an amber light. I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. What's the trailer number? Oh, it's exactly the trailer number that I gotta pick up. So I run a pre-trip on it, and naturally it fails. I read the alarm. Alternator not charging in high temperature on the coolant. Third one. So I go inside and say, hey, listen, you know, I spoke with Road Assist in this period of time. Road Assist is like, hey, listen, you can't take that trailer. I'm like, I wasn't planning on taking that. I was not planning on leaving this yard unless you sent somebody out or it gets transloaded onto another trailer. So I go into the office, and they kind of like look at me sideways. I'm like, ma'am, I'm not taking a trailer that's telling me there's 2 critical warnings on a trailer that you guys loaded. That as soon as you started, someone that comes out and reads, because I know these places read. How could you have overlooked that? Someone should have stopped that process in the early beginning of the loading. So they're thinking like, you know, their thinking is, no, they'll take it, you know, drivers are dumb, whatever. I don't want to insinuate that, but I'm insinuating that. So I go in, and she says, well, there's nothing we can do. I said, well, then I'm refusing to take this load. I'm on your property, and I am not taking a load that has 2 bad faults that it's going to cost me, you, the driver. It'll cost you. God forbid anything happens. I've got 3 stops. It's not like I'm taking this thing down the road, dropping it off, and goodbye. No, I've got a load drop tonight. I've got to drop tomorrow, and I've got to drop on. Is it Wednesday? Wait, today, Tuesday? Yeah, so I got to drop tonight, Tuesday night, Wednesday, and Thursday. That's paying really good. I'm only going the whole route. It's only 300 miles. I'm going to be in Pennsylvania for all 3 routes. But so the guy's like, oh, no. So they're like, okay. So they call the yard dog in. The guy goes, oh, it's just a faulty sensor. Like, yeah, what does that tell? What are you telling me that's a faulty sensor? I did a pre-trip on it, and it failed miserably. So I'm not taking that. Like, they tried to con me into taking that load, getting it off their hands. I told them, I said, listen, I don't know what you want to do here. I'm refusing this load. I said, I know the deal. Once I leave that property, it's all mine. And there's a lot of stuff on there that I don't feel like paying for in the event that something happens. It's not going to be. So just as a lesson to anybody new that's coming in and you come up across this problem, first and foremost, read what the alarm says, do a pre-trip, and then contact Road Assist. This is Prime. I can't speak about any other company out there. Road Assist will then tell you, okay, yeah, we're reading it, and they'll kind of direct you. And because I had told RA in the beginning of the conversation, like, dude, I'm refusing this load. I said, I'm not. He's like, absolutely. He's like, I was going to tell you that, you know, you got to have them get an empty, take that and put it on a new trailer. I'm like, okay, cool. So RA was on my side. So they were reading it. I'm getting alarms back and forth until I finally disconnected and I sent another drop trailer report. So they finally agreed. Like, why do you have to like break my chops? Just do the right thing, you know? Then on the Prime side, I can't be the only one. Maybe it's just the luck of the draw. Let me tell you something. My luck has been absolutely horrible of late. Between this truck and the trailers I'm picking up at Prime, it's just been awful. But let's speak about Prime for a second. Prime needs to hire an independent company in the regions where there's a lot of drop trailers, and need to go and inspect these trailers and fix them. I mean, some of these trailers don't make it back to the terminal. You know, sometimes, as much as I like to avoid terminals, and I'm sure there's others that I know of that don't like going to terminals. Sometimes it's good to go to a terminal just for them to do an inspection on a trailer, especially when it's empty. And if it's full, they'll work on it. They'll prioritize it and get you in. Because these trailers are mechanical like a truck. Things break. I mean, they go through a lot of work, a lot of abuse, and they don't get service. So my point is, and maybe they do, maybe they don't. Now, I can go long spans without having any problems with trailers, and so can everybody else. But being that it's winter, it's frigid out, the elements have changed, things break, things crack, things dry rot, things need to be fixed, things need to be changed. And I've often spoke about this with others and said, I don't understand why they won't hire a service just to come into these places and look at them, run it through a 10-point checklist. Check the oil, check the belts, check fluids, check this, check that. So this way, when us drivers go there, we pick up a trailer that's workable, that's not going to break down on us. There's nothing like, and you've all gone through this, getting alarms, getting messages every 5 minutes on your Qualcomm, and they can't do nothing to shut it off. This guy over here, he for some reason, he can't slide his tandems, Prime truck. He's struggling. I told him, I said, beat it with a hammer. I said, if not, use PB Blaster. I don't have any. Well, I only have a little bit left, so I'm not going to give him mine. I come prepared. Come prepared, folks. Get some WD-4, get some PB Blaster, have some tools on the truck, have a mallet, have a hammer, have a screwdriver, have a ratchet set, because you never know when you need to tighten something. You never know when you need it. You don't need it until you need it, and then you wish you had it, right? Like, I wish I had at least a small twine or small bungee cord on me for last night to hold the weight gauge from collapsing on the ground. I tried using my duct tape, and that didn't work because it was freezing cold out. It didn't stick to nothing, so it just hung there and dangled. And I don't like going down the road looking like that. So I finally got into Virginia yesterday, warmed up. I cleaned the surface really good, and I taped it up, and it seemed to have held. So, yeah, have some Gorilla duct tape on you. Have some of these items, because you never know when you need it. Again, you don't need it until you need it, and then you wish you had it. Because ultimately, remember, the point of this story, or this vent or rant or whatever you want to call it, is the fact that you take that load off the yard, folks, it becomes your problem. Nobody else's. You signed. Although I signed for that paperwork, unbeknownst to me, not until I went around and picked up that trailer did I see a yellow light going, the alarm red light going off, and the amber light was stuck on. I was like, you got to be kidding me. And I didn't even think twice and said, I got to bust a trailer. Let's see what the alarms are. Sometimes it's a faulty fuel sensor. That's nothing. You can get under it and go. But when it says alternator not charging in high coolant temp, you've got a problem. And I opened the doors, the belt's on there, it's spinning, it's doing what it needs to do. Alternators, hey, listen, hit the bed. This is only this is a 22. This is a 2022 trailer. I'm telling you, folks, the newer the trailer, the worst condition I see them in. I don't know what they do to them, what kind of materials they use, but it seems to be cheesy, and things break on those things so easily. The old 17s, 18s, 19s, phenomenal. So the last 3 trailers are all 21, 22, and 22. Broken, effed up. So with that being said, I'm out. Let me read some of my messages because they're flying in. I'll let everybody know. And the guy told me to hang out here and will knock on my door when they're ready to pull it. I don't know. They may take me off the load. Who knows? I hope so. I mean, it's a good paying load to go 300 miles in the next couple of days. It's not as stressful. It's not a stressful ride at all. But let me see what's going on. All right, folks. Be good. Stay safe. Make great decisions, man.
Later.